link, prepaid call from
Ken Hovind.
an inmate at the Saturday County Sheriff's Office. This call will be recorded and monitored. Your advance pay account balance is $63.54. For customer assistance, billing inquiries, or to block future calls, dial 1-877-650-4249. To hear the cost of this call, press 8 now. To accept this call is subject to monitoring and recording. Do not use three-way or call waiting features during this call. Thank you for using Global Tel-Link.
All right, thank you, brother.
All right, thank you, Pastor Hovind. This question comes in from Lisa, and Lisa writes, I've heard Shermer, the stupid skeptic, say several times that if trilobites were found in the same bedding plane as hominids, then that would prove the evolution theory wrong. I'm paraphrasing except for parenthesis. Hasn't that been found a while back in some footprints along a river? And that's from Lisa.
Well, in their thinking, a trilobite, which looks kind of like a giant pill bug or roly-poly, we would call them, lived 600 million years ago, or whatever the number is they've got for it, okay? And humans didn't come till 3 million years. See, they've got this stupid geologic column where that's their Bible. They interpret everything in light of that dumb geologic column. So they would say humans and trilobites, fossils, are never found in the same rock layer. Okay, I don't think that's true. I don't know. I think Baugh has evidence of the human footprint on top of the trilobite, where somebody smashed one. So you could contact creationevidence.org to see that. He may actually have the footprint itself. I think it's called the Meister print. I don't know. But it wouldn't matter. I would say humans and chickens have never been found in the same rock layer either. Does that prove humans and chickens did not live at the same time? Well, no, they're still alive, okay? Maybe the reason humans and chickens are not found buried together in the same rock layer is because humans don't normally hang out with chickens all day. Maybe that's the reason. Maybe humans didn't hang out with trilobites. Maybe trilobites are a bottom of the ocean dwelling creature, and in the flood they would be buried first because they're already at the bottom, and humans would be buried later because they're smarter, well, some of them are, and could figure out a way to avoid drowning. So, A, I don't know that it's true that they haven't been...
This call is from the Saturday County Sheriff's Office.
B, it wouldn't matter that they haven't been found together. Not finding evidence is not evidence that they didn't exist together. That's insane. Any court of law would say, well, you got to be nuts. What is wrong with you? So it's all based on their dumb geologic column, which I cover on my video number 6 and maybe a little bit in number 4 of my video series. Anyway, thank you. Hope that helps, Lisa. And I would love to win Mr. Shermer to the Lord. I think he may have another reason for not wanting to come to Christ and not wanting to admit the Bible is true. I want to read Romans chapter 1 to see if you can find that reason. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you, Pastor Hovind. The next question, I think you've heard before, but I'm going to take full responsibility for the lost tapes of Ken Hovind, the 15-minute lost tapes. This is one of the questions that I asked, I think, during that 15-minute period, and I'll ask it again if you don't mind. It's from Davey, and Davey writes, Hello, Kent. Glad to hear the charges are dropped. The school systems lie daily to the kids who attend to them. When a school kid talks to a kid who doesn't attend public schools, they regurgitate what they have been taught and try to lead the others astray. When I showed them it was a lie, what they were discussing, it caused the school kid to run to school and call her teacher a liar. I can prove I'm right. What is the right way to approach this? And I guess that comes from Davey from Tennessee, and he's concerned that when these school children are learning that evolution is a lie, they're calling their teachers a liar in the classroom, and maybe that's not the best approach. Any comments to that, Pastor Hovind?
Well, certainly, yes. Well, A, the teacher probably does not know that they're lying. They're probably simply repeating what they heard. So I would say this textbook is teaching a lie. And teacher, you shouldn't repeat that. If you found a math textbook that had a typographical error that said 2 plus 2 is 5, what would you do? If the teacher read that in the class and said, hey students, look at read page 7, the book says 2 plus 2 is 5, and a student said, teacher, you're lying. No, teacher, the textbook is wrong. So I would certainly put it off on the textbook, not on the teacher if possible. Secondly, I would certainly try to be respectful and talk to the teacher privately after class, not in front of the class. Nobody likes to be corrected in front of anybody, especially a teacher in front of a class. So talk to him privately. Thirdly, it might be wise to have an adult do that. Have your mom or dad or youth director or pastor or somebody contact the teacher and say, look, we need to work out this situation here. There's something in your textbook that's not true. Here's the evidence that it's not true. Would you please stop teaching this? So we don't send kids off to war. Why are we sending kids off to fight against inaccurate textbooks? My video Lies in the Textbooks is 2.5 or 3 hours long, dealing with a bunch of lies in the textbooks. Hand that to the teacher and say, teacher, would you please watch this? If that won't do it, have your dad say, here, teacher, I'll give you $50 if you'll watch this. Oh, okay. But most of the teachers that I have met over the years, which would number into the thousands and maybe tens of thousands, are sincere, dedicated. I mean, they've given their life to this task. They love teaching. My brother helped lead me to the Lord. He taught public school 34 years, and godly man, loves the Lord. His son is a pastor of a church in Cleveland, Ohio now, large, successful church, Chad Hovind. He did the videotape on money that the Eric's ministry, Creation Today, sells. Fabulous video on Godonomics. Great series. Anyway, so, yeah, the parents should teach the children, don't go to class and call your teacher a liar in front of the class, certainly. But secondly, find out a way to put it off on the textbook instead. And if the teacher insists, no, this is true, it might be time for the parents to get involved, or the school board, or Congress, or president, or, God, take it up as high as you want to go. But don't allow lies to be taught. I'm not saying overlook it, but I'm saying it's not a tactful approach to call the teacher a liar. Now, there may be some teachers who deliberately lie to their kids because they want them to believe in evolution. Some of the debates I've had with some of the atheists, I think they are deliberately teaching things that they know are not true because they don't have any other evidence. I think it was a debate I did, I don't recall now, or maybe just a discussion Q&A after a session, it might have been at Berkeley, where this person said, after I pointed out some of the lies in the textbooks, that this ought to be taken out. Don't teach about the embryo having gill slits or the geologic column having any common sense at all to it. And I went through a bunch of the lies in the textbooks, and this person said, well, if you take all of this stuff out, what are you going to replace it with? And I said, you have got to be kidding. You're saying, I have successfully proven that the evidences you use for your religion of evolution are incorrect. And rather than remove them, I have to find a replacement. I have to find evidence for your religion before we can take out a lie? You have got to be kidding. Just, if you don't have any evidence for your religion, I'm sorry. Maybe you should consider getting a new religion. But no, I'm not going to go around finding evidence for your religion. I think your religion is dumb. But wow, you're welcome to believe it. But you're not welcome to lie about it, to pass that off to the next generation at my expense. Go start a private school where they teach evolution and everybody pays to come learn it if they want to, but get it out of the public school. That is my humble, very totally unbiased opinion. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you, Pastor Hovind. I think I've got 2 more, and we will have covered all the ones that we lost. The next question.
Okay, sounds great, Rip.
All right, very good. The next question comes from Patrick, and Patrick writes, Dear sir, please thank Dr. Hovind for answering my previous question about homosexuality. I was so happy that Dr. Hovind took the time to help me. I have another question involving going to heaven. If there was a child or adult who had never had a chance to know Christ, but lived a good life according to Christian standards, when they die, do they still go to heaven? Kind regards, Patrick.
Well, thank you. If it was possible to go to heaven by living a good life, then Of course they would go. However, it's not possible to go to heaven by living a good life. First of all, nobody lives a good life. Read Romans chapter 3, starting with about verse 10, all the way to the end. There is nobody good. Even what we as humans would consider good is not considered good by God's standards. So nobody lives a good life. Secondly, that's not how you go to heaven anyway. Being good won't do it. It's like hanging from a length of chain off the edge of a cliff. You only have to break one link to fall, and it can be any one of the links. Maybe they've never broken 99% of the links, but only one of them. They've only broken one law. And by man's standards, we would say, wow, that's a good person. Well, they're still going to fall. And God is going to judge every single sin. If you murdered one person, Patrick, and went to court and used the excuse, Judge, I only murdered one person. There are thousands of people I have known that I did not murder and did not even think of murdering. Would you please put my good against my bad? They would laugh at you. Okay, Patrick, we will not punish you for the good you've done. We will only punish you for the bad, and you would get punished accordingly. So there isn't anybody who's even a little child. Now, there may be a provision, as we've talked about before, as we see with the situation with David and Bathsheba when their baby died. The only verse I'm aware of that deals with the subject at all, David is talking about this baby that had died, and he said, I cannot bring him back to me, but I shall go to him. 1 Samuel, whatever it is, near the end of, I'd have to look it up anyway. So, you go to heaven because of what Jesus has done. It's because of his righteousness. So I think probably children are covered. There's a situation called the age of accountability, which is a man-made term, not found in the Bible, but I think it's...
This call is from the Trilobites County Sheriff's Office.
Up to a certain age, kids are simply not accountable for their sins. So, but I can't prove that. All I can do is share that one verse with you. But so, yes, nobody lives a good life, and that's not how you go to heaven anyway. So, hope that helps, Patrick. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Pastor Hovind. The next, it's really somebody's asking you to comment on both President Obama, the so-called president, and Bill Nye. President Obama is reported on May the 20th, which is about 5 days ago. It's written, those who deny global warming are putting at risk the United States and the military sworn to defend it. He told cadets at the U.S. Coast Guard Academy, failure to act would be dereliction of duty, their commander-in-chief said. And then Bill Nye is reported as coming out and saying that those who do not support the government-funded position of global warming, those people are unpatriotic and basically not patriotic to the United States of America. Any comments about the so-called President Obama's statements about global warming and being patriotic and a dereliction of duty, and Bill Nye's support of President Obama, so-called president?
Well, it's sad when inmates run the institution, the mental institution, but that's exactly what we have a classic example of here. Both of those statements are insane. They're silly. They're wrong. Okay, they're stupid. Tell them I said so.
Amen.
If there is any global warming, if there is any, A, could it be that man is causing it? Could it be a natural cycle? B, could it be that our fixes to it are worse? Let's take a look at the economy. The economy is bad, so the government says, here, let's collect $10 billion from everybody so that we can pay out $300 million to people on welfare so they can go spend it at the store so the store gets a $10,000 profit. Wow, we just boosted the economy by $10,000. You did? I think you just hurt the economy by billions of dollars. The government has no business being involved in this anyway. Show me any place in the Constitution where the federal government or the military has the authority to be involved in a war against global warming, even if it is true. Even if it's true, what business do they have fighting this war? That's not part of their job. And I don't think it is true as far as the global warming, and I think the business of spraying the sky with the chemtrails is making it much worse. Think about it. What does it cost? How much damage does it do to the environment to dig up all the iron or the aluminum ore, smelt it down, make aluminum, turn it into powder, or the aluminum oxides or whatever they're spraying? How how much environmental damage is done to create this stuff. And then to load up the airplane with gasoline and this stuff and get up in the clouds and spray it all day. And you're going to...
You have 60 seconds remaining.
You're going to reflect the sunlight over 0.0000001% of the Earth and think you saved the planet when you just did 1 trillion times more damage to the planet. Your solution is worse than the problem. Like you got a pimple on your finger, so you cut off the arm. This is dumb. Yeah, both of those statements those guys made are wrong and stupid. And I'll be quoted on that if you'd like.
Amen.
I got more, brother. Should I call?
We do have enough. We do have more if you have the time. Yes, sir.
Let me, there's two guys waiting for the phone. Let me call back in a half hour if it comes open again, okay?
Okay, sounds good, Pastor Hovind. God bless you, sir.
All right, thank you, bye.
Bye-bye. All right, that's Pastor Hovind. I do need some more Bible questions, folks, and I do get a few Bible questions. For instance, Ollie sent me some Bible questions, but it's just too long, man. It's like 2 pages, and I can't go through 2 pages in a 15-minute call. If we could try to condense them down to at least a couple of paragraphs, that would be best. I'll do my best in reading these questions. I'm very grateful, and it's very good you guys sending them. But when you send them and they're like 2 to 3 pages, it's just very, very tough to work them in on a 15-minute call. So please continue to send me Bible questions, or evolution creation questions are just as good. And if you want to send stuff about just what's going on in America, I'm sure he'll give his opinion on that too. We got 76 days, guys. That's a long time to be stuck in county jail. He's already been there nearly a year. But we'll try to... You know, if he's already gone this long, I'm sure he can make it, but it's just absolutely heartbreaking that we don't have anybody left in government to do the right thing, and this Harvard-educated Charles E. Samuels Jr. is ignoring it, and all these congressmen are ignoring it, and just absolutely heartbreaking.